As mortgage loan officers, we get asked a lot of questions, but definitely there's one question we get asked all the time.
What is my rate?
That's right. We get that question a lot. And it's an important question, right? It's a very important answer for you so we can figure out what your mortgage is going to look like. But there's a lot of factors that go into what your rate is. And I'm going to talk about the big picture stuff. So rates overall are tied to the bond market generally. If bonds are doing good, then rates are going to get better. If bonds are doing bad, well, then rates are going to get worse. But there's a lot of other big macro things that go into your rate, such as political events, other economic reports, like the inflation report's been a big one that's been driving rates. Political stuff like elections can influence rates. All these things make up the rate in a big picture. Rates change daily. Sometimes they change a couple times a day because of all those factors that I mentioned.
Yep. And so more on the rate piece. Obviously, you talk about the global kind of impact and how we determine the rate, but more for the person that's calling saying, well, hey, what's my rate? Well, there's a lot of things that go into us just giving you a generic rate. So biggest factor on your rate is credit score. Just like anything, you don't got to be perfect, but normally the higher your credit score, normally helps out the pricing on your rate. So credit score, also loan type. There's kind of about four loan types out there. We've kind of touched on those before. USDA, FHA, VA, all government type loans. Those, at some point you kind of hit a threshold to where you're already kind of in that perfect threshold bucket. You don't need to be at an 800. Doesn't do you a whole lot of good. Conventional, it makes a bigger impact. So, the credit score, the loan type, just like we were just talking about, those four different loan types, those have a big impact on, of course, if you're a veteran, you're eligible for a VA loan, normally get a little bit better pricing, especially if you got good credit. Some of the smaller little impacts on your pricing or your down payment. So normally, bigger down payment, a little more skin in the game, helps out the pricing. Your purchase price, if you are kind of in that what they call like a jumbo territory, conforming loan limits are always seem to be changing. But if you're kind of the higher amount, it can impact your rate. Your type of housing you're buying. If you're buying a normal single family house versus a fourplex versus a condo versus a manufactured home, those are all little things, different risk classes on all of those. So it does impact your your overall individual rate. What else might I forget? Oh, income limits.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Sometimes if you make a certain income in a certain area, you might get a rate advantage. So there's a lot of things that we look at to get your specific rate. We can generically tell you, hey, the rates are here today, but to get your specific rate, we're really going to need to dive into your financial situation. Not every person is going to have the same outcome with rate. But just know that we're not compensated by your rate. We want to provide you the best product and the best rate available. Helping you become homeowners is how we help our families. So it's just in our interest to find you the best what we can. And us being a broker is, I think, an advantage for us because we have multiple opportunities and spots where we can go find the best product for you, which includes the best rate.
Yep. And then one random thing to add before we wrap this up is most pricing on all our brokers when we're shopping around, whenever you pick Texas, pricing is normally a little bit better.
Oh.
So, of course, we're only licensed here in Texas at the moment, but hey, give us a shout. We'd love to help you out.
Yeah, call us. Ask that question. What's the rate? We'll let you know.